New York State's Division of Minority and Women-Owned Business Development offers a next-generation framework to certify minority and women-owned business enterprises. Designed to deliver measurable results built on trust and transparency. This program strives for excellence in bringing a positive customer experience to MWBE certification.
Let's meet Thomas, Jamal, and Aaliyah. Thomas is one of the division's customer care representatives. He actually was the person that helped me walk through the process. Jamal is a Certified Minority Business Enterprise, or MBE. And Aaliyah, a Certified Minority and Woman-Owned Business Enterprise, or MWBE. Both Jamal and Aaliyah successfully have met the criteria set forth by Article 15-A of the Executive Law and demonstrate ownership, operation, and control of their business.
Their certification experience was fast, easy, and most importantly, free of cost to them and their business. Let's focus in on Aaliyah's story.
Sure. Aaliyah most recently applied for and received her certification through the division as a Buffalo, upstate New York company in business for over 3 years. Let's take a look at how she got there using the New York State MWBE program. As a preliminary step, Aaliyah uses the online MWBE certification assessment tool. By filling out the form, Aaliyah can better assess whether her business meets the certification criteria. The results confirm that Aaliyah's business may be eligible to receive a MWBE certification. However, Aaliyah knows this does not guarantee certification for her business, and she must complete a formal application.
As a side note, if your assessment shows your business may not be eligible, you can reach out to the following organizations.
That's good to know. MWBEs can always receive the assistance they need. Ready to begin the process, Aaliyah knows the best way to set up her application for success and faster processing is to have all the necessary documentation beforehand to avoid any delays. Next, Aaliyah visits the New York State Contract System website to select the application that best meets her business qualifications. Aaliyah knows to thoroughly check her submissions for accuracy. This includes selecting which NAICS codes best fit her business and the work she has experience in.
It's important to note that an incomplete or inaccurate application may slow the certification process.
Right, it's up to the customer to really lead this process. When submitting her application, Aaliyah knows there will be a waiting period for her and all applications that go through before starting the certification process.
The Division of Minority and Women-Owned Business Development is pleased to have a new decentralized certification process that helps manage applications more effectively and efficiently. The process includes 4 phases: application intake, document verification, compliance, and decision support. This process allows every customer to know where their application is in the process.
That's right. During the application intake phase, the division ensures all the criteria for a New York State MWBE certification are met and documentation is submitted. While waiting, Aaliyah can contact customer care to see where her application is in the queue. In the document verification phase, the division will review the qualifying documentation.
Please note that the additional documentation may be requested by the division for clarification. The applicant is responsible for leading this effort. The sooner the documents are submitted, the faster the division can process the application.
Right again. The sooner the complete and accurate documents are submitted, the faster the division can process them. Since Aaliyah took the time beforehand to make sure proper documents were submitted on time, her application will likely move through this phase quickly. During the compliance coding phase, Aaliyah's business is assigned at least one commodity code, such as NAICS codes, for obtaining business opportunities with the state of New York. Finally, the decision support phase determines the outcome of Aaliyah's certification. As expected, her business is successfully certified as a minority and women-owned business in the state of New York and listed in the New York State Directory of Certified Firms.
The Division of Minority and Women's Business Development is ready to grow your MWBE business through this fast, free, and easy framework. All certified MWBs should access and utilize the New York State Opportunities eBook. Identify opportunities. Prepare capability statement. Connect. Outreach to state agencies and authorities. Take the certification assessment today and find out if your business may be eligible for New York State MWBE certification.
Mine was, and I'm so excited to get started.
New York State's Division of Minority and Women-Owned Business Development offers a next-generation framework to certify minority and women-owned business enterprises. Designed to deliver measurable results built on trust and transparency. This program strives for excellence in bringing a positive customer experience to MWBE certification.
Let's meet Thomas, Jamal, and Aaliyah. Thomas is one of the division's customer care representatives. He actually was the person that helped me walk through the process. Jamal is a Certified Minority Business Enterprise, or MBE. And Aaliyah, a Certified Minority and Woman-Owned Business Enterprise, or MWBE.
Good afternoon. How's everyone? My name is Jerome DuVall. I am the Executive Director and Executive Vice President for the Division of Minority and Women Business Development. Welcome to this year's forum. I am so excited to be with you today to really highlight the work that we have done over the past 12 months since I've taken office. A little bit about me. I'm from upstate New York. Grew up in a small town called Wolcott, New York, with only 4,300 people. A funny story is that I'm the youngest of 21, 13 sisters, 7 brothers. So I'm sure there's somebody out there that is a cousin or niece. So I'm sure my family is sitting here in the room somewhere. My family, we're always entrepreneurs, right? And so I grew up on a family farm, and one of the things that I remember most about those days is that, I was always in my sister's hair salon, right? I was always at my sister's fruit stand, and so I've always been around entrepreneurs, and I've always seen the struggles of small businesses. And so today, I'm really excited to be with you to really talk about how I've come full circle and have worked in the private sector and now back into the public sector, and really now have the opportunity to come back home and to serve New York. And so we are New York. And we are going to really tackle some of the challenges that all of you are so very familiar with around the overall certification process. And so today I'm here to unveil and share with you some of those successes and our journey and path as we innovate forward. And so let's go ahead and get the presentation started. So the first thing I want to do is I want to talk to you about the growth mindset that we're setting within the division. First thing is based on our cultural priorities, right? I was in class the other day teaching on day one, and one of the things I shared with the students was that, we are going to be fanatical about response time. I've heard it. I've traveled across the state through virtual forums across all 10 regions, and we heard you, right? And so we're really using a customer service and customer-centric model in everything that we do this day going forward. The other thing is we're going to be exceptional about customer service. We have a new customer service model. I don't know if you all have called our new customer service yet, but you can actually speak to someone. And we tested that yesterday in my class, right? We actually called the customer service. And for those of you who were in my class, someone was on the other line to answer, right? The other thing that's very important is we must assume positive intent. it is critically important that we change our posture and that we become advocates for MWBEs in a way we've never been before, right? The other thing is we have to practice blameless problem solving, right? We have to model what we want to be and what we want to see. And so one of the things you may not know is that there is a new young MBE, WBE, running this forum today. And so one of the things we did was we wanted to be creative and innovative and look at our scoring criteria. And we changed our scoring criteria because we have to ensure that MWBEs get access to opportunities, right? And so we actually changed our scoring criteria and gave a 15% bump if you are a young business and you are an MWBE or an MBE. And so we must practice what we preach. The other thing that's important is, as my team know, we must have fun reaching our goals, right? We must have fun because we are passionate about the work that we do. And so I'm really excited to really talk about how we are innovating forward and building towards success. New York has always been the leader in utilization, right? But we must take the next step as we innovate forward to really become the thought leaders in MWBE. And yesterday we had our inaugural call with 10 states from around the union, right? We brought together 10 states to really start talking and looking at best practices and really starting to create a knowledge base or a knowledge base for MWBEs across the state to share information. And I can tell you that from Arizona to Ohio to DC to Maryland to Mass, everyone was excited to be on this call. And we started sharing information. So we're going to leverage the best practices from across the country. But we're going to do this in a way that really leans towards encouraging collaboration, increasing efficiencies in the way we do in our business processes, and I'm going to talk about that. And we're also going to boost innovation. I know you're here to see the unveiling of the next generation technology platform. And so we're going to be talking about that and showing you the path we're headed down. But we're going to do this through building trust and transparency. Governor Hochul released a new plan for the government around transparency. And so we want to build that relationship with you. And part of doing that is really beginning the dialogue today and continuing to build on that dialogue going forward. And so, our business community, I want you to know that we heard you, right? We see you and we heard you. And I want to tell you that you are the backbone as small businesses and MWBEs and MBEs and black and brown businesses. We hear you. We are here to work with you. And hopefully today in this conference, you've connected with someone new. I know that I gave up my mobile number during my class. So if you weren't in class, you didn't get my mobile number. You may have to find somebody who was in class. But one of the things we're doing is we're implementing new strategies in the work that we're doing. We are really looking toward working with MWBEs around partnership, innovation, really looking to not only grow those relationships, but maintain those relationships in a more substantial way going forward. We're looking at really implementing new programs. Our Mentor Protege program, we're looking at how can we revamp that program. Our Business Growth Accelerator program. We know that the answers are out there. And so we want to open that line of dialogue to begin that collaboration to work with you on how we can innovate forward. I am so excited to talk about our customer service model. And so I want to let you know how we are overlaying customer service in everything that we do. The first thing is reliability, right? You got to trust the process that you are entering as you are seeking certification. So I'm going to be talking about our next generation certification process. And I'm going to be talking about this new decentralized process, right, that we are currently pilot testing with over 1,900 applications. We are running in parallel with new applications as they're coming in, because we understand that this is one of the challenges that we have to overcome. But we'll also do it through training. We started training yesterday with our service providers. We were full to capacity. We had over 50 students in training on day one, and we're so excited about beginning that dialogue and making sure that we are giving you as service providers and businesses the tools and resources that you need to empower you to make the decisions that you're making to be able to support small businesses and MWBEs, right? We need to empower you to help us help you, because we are all in this together. And so I'm really excited about the work we're doing there. But we're going to do it in a more tangible way. We're going to give you real tools, right? How many of you have already visited the new website, right? We redesigned the MWBE website, and one of the things that we added there that I'm so excited to tell you about is our new self-assessment tool. That's right. New York State has now released for the first time, and we've shared that with also all of the states the other day, our MWB assessment tool. We released it 3 months of me being on the job. That was one of the things I heard, is that we must give you information to help demystify the certification process. And it must be clear, consistent, and we must do it in a way that really helps you move forward. Can I get back to my presentation? Thank you. One of the things we're also going to do is we're going to do it with empathy. The last 2 years, one of the things we know is that we've all been through a lot. And MWBEs have been impacted more than anybody, right? And so I'm excited to share with you that not only is the self-assessment tool is readily available today, and I know my legal team is sitting around here somewhere, so I have to do the commercial disclaimer. This is an educational tool. It does not guarantee certification, but within 10 to 5 minutes, it will give you an assessment of if you may meet the requirements or may not meet the requirements based on 15A criteria. So it's a very helpful tool. Let's talk about the decentralized process. Now, all of you know that the old case management process of having one analyst or one case manager seeing over 25 to 50 cases at a time does not work. I started my career out as a social worker in DC in child neglect and abuse, and I had 100 cases assigned to me. And the only cases I saw were the cases that were emergencies. And so we don't want to use that approach when we look at innovating forward and looking at a new decentralized process. So this new decentralized process, we will break our teams up into phases. And so one of the things I'm excited to share is that each phase will build on the other phase. And so now we will have teams that will sit in the phase one, the application intake phase, and then we'll have teams sitting in phase two, which is the desk audit. They then will move over to the compliance and coding phase, and then move over to decision support. We then will be able to process more applications by triaging those applications and working with our customers. I'm going to be revealing something today that I'm really excited to share that we are moving toward. So the application intake phase, phase one, is really about gathering the right documentation for completeness. In my class the other day, I talked about what it means to provide and submit a complete application. We know from the data, because we will be making evidence decision going forward that will drive decision-making in our policies, right? And so we know that the majority of applications that are submitted don't have all the documentation. So it slows down the process. So it's all about completeness. And so we want to make sure that we're doing that. The desk audit phase is really, I'm so excited to share some news with you today, first time shared here at this conference about what we're doing to help you as we pivot and as we leverage new technologies such as Zoom and being able to meet with businesses in real time. The compliance phase is just that. We want to work with you to make sure that we're assigning the right codes because we know that those codes tie back to opportunities. And so we want to make sure that we're doing that in a more seamless way. And once that application gets to decision support, we should be able to render a decision, right? And so the one thing I want to just, because I want to make sure you all visualize, especially the folk virtually, online, and those of you who are sitting here today, that what this process looks like. The application intake phase is really where is your first step to starting the application with the self-assessment tool, right? So we want to make you a part of the process. And so we want to make sure that when you submit an application, that application is complete. I'm really excited to share that we are also in phase 2, moving to a virtual documentation verification phase. A virtual document verification phase. What we've all learned over the past 2 years is that we've all learned how to Zoom. So why don't we leverage that to be able to meet with you in real time, to be able to go through the documents and save all of us a lot of time, right? So we're moving to a virtual documentation verification phase, all right? And so I'm really excited to say that this is going to help reduce the wait time and speed up the review because most applications get caught in the application funnel at the phase 2, going back and forth for documentation. Now, I have Jennifer here with me, who is our one of our partners that we're working with around our new technology platform. So I'm going to jump through this really quick, but we will be available after this conversation to really talk about what we're doing with the next generation technology platform. So we are leveraging artificial intelligence, machine learning, and predictive analysis. We are bringing that into the next generation MWBE platform. This is so important for what we're doing. We know that today you upload stagnant documents, and then our analysts have to sit with those documents. And right now, they're processing over 10,900 some documents a year. We think that we can use and leverage technology to put a data processor on that, to take that unstructured data and makes it structured to be able to process that using smart technology to be able to render decisions faster. The other thing we want to do is we want to move and leverage GIS, right? We want to make sure that not only can we connect opportunities to MWBEs based on industry codes, based on geographical location, but do it in a way where we can push those opportunities out to you, right? That is very important. We need to be more proactive in working with MWBEs. And so I'm excited to say that we are also moving to predictive analysis and leveraging the volumes of data to make that data smarter, to help us increase efficiencies and also drive decision making. And so we're moving to a dynamic workflow. Y'all didn't hear me, did you? We are moving to a dynamic workflow that is scalable. Today what happens is that when 15A is reauthorized coming up in 2023, we just did it in January of 20, right? You all know about the reauthorization. We did a session. There's a virtual session. If you haven't seen it, go see it. We talked about three big things that happened to really help provide a better customer service and more opportunities so that we can cast that net wider for MWBEs, right? First thing we did with the legislator and the governor is we actually increased the personal net worth from 3.5 million to 15 million. The next thing we did was we ensured that if you have a certification today, it now moves from 3 years to 5 years, right? And then the third thing that we did, amongst other, is one of the reasons why all of you are here is we wanted to really focus on discretionary spend. And so we've increased discretionary spend up to $500,000. And so that is going to really create more opportunities for MWBEs. The other thing I want to talk about is, how do we build trust and transparency into the technology? What is the psychosocial approach to how we look at technology within the division, right? And so one of the things we want to do is we want to leverage mobile technology. We want to have an MWBE mobile app. We want to have push notification. We want to be able to make it easier for you to not only know where opportunities are, but also know the status of your application. Did y'all hear me? We want you to know the status of your application. Yes, you can call our customer care team, but wouldn't it be nice to know in real time when your application moves from phase 1, the application intake phase, to phase 2, right? To the desk audit phase, to phase 3, right? Absolutely, that's right. Absolutely. When it reaches that compliance phase and then decision support, you should know where your application is throughout the entire process. And so we're going to be leveraging video to really bring this to you, to meet you where you are. And so we're really excited to be able to bring more applications using low-code development. Low-code development. All that means is that we will be able to build our applications faster. We will be able to integrate and connect for our agencies and authorities that are out there. I know the challenges. I've talked to you. We've worked with you on trying to make sure that we use a modular approach to integration because of all the different technology tools that we have to integrate with. So this technology platform will be interoperable, right? It'll be able to connect with all of the dispersed systems that are out there. The other thing we want to do is, we talk about AI, artificial intelligence. We talk about machine learning, but what does that really mean to all of you? How do we leverage that to really help speed up the review process? So remember I talked about how today, most of the documents that we are submitting, we have somebody reviewing them. We're actually going to leverage artificial intelligence to be able to extract that data, aggregate that data using an algorithm to be able to process that data in real time to be able to help with, and wait for it, not to replace human behavior, but to enhance human behavior. We still need our analysts. They're still a critical part in the decision-making process. And they're probably the most unsung heroes of the work that we do. And so for our analysts that are home watching this in real time, we are also helping you not only through training that we're bringing online, but also making sure that we give you the tools that you need to do your job better. And so we had a couple light bulb moments. I talked about one of the initiatives that we have running right now, which is SuperCap for Hostra and R6 Catalyst, who are our partners right now, helping us process over 1,900 applications using the decentralized process. I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your partnership. And like I said, one of the things that we are intentional on is making sure that we reach back to our MWBEs to make them a part of this process. And so one of the light bulb moments we had is we now have started a program called Project Lightning. Some of you are a part of that and don't even know it. And all we did was we recognized that there were applications that were sitting, and we were treating all applications the same. And let me tell you what I mean, right? There are different types of applications that require different types of documents. So when you look at your corporate structure, if you're an LLC, or if you're a sole proprietorship, or an S corporation, we were treating all of those the same, and we were dumping them in the same bucket. We don't think that that is the most efficient way of doing it. So what we're doing now is when those applications come in, we triage them. And we create express lanes based on what the requirements are based on 15A. And so we had someone in class the other day who talked about their experience. And I'm so excited to be able to move and innovate forward to continue to leverage that. The last thing I want to talk to you guys about is our regional staffing model. We are so excited to be able to bring our certification analysts and meet customers and businesses where they are. And so as of this conversation today, we've already placed and identified 5 senior certification analysts. And I think some of them are maybe even in this conference. I saw a couple of them already. So we're Mid-Hudson, right? Buffalo. We're going across this state to be able to place regional analysts within the regions. Because we know that Southern Tier and North Country is very different from New York City, right? And we want to not be the tale of two cities. We really want to bridge that gap of communication and access to information so that now you can walk into a regional office and meet with an analyst. Y'all didn't hear me, did y'all? Okay, there we go. We are bringing our senior analysts to the regions to help strengthen our relationship with our business community. And so I am so excited. This is our customer care number. I would encourage you to call them. I would encourage you, if you have any questions, make sure that you reach out to them. And we are here to help you. And so thank you so much. Hopefully this has been helpful. Hopefully you've heard something that got you excited as we continue to innovate forward. And we're all in this together, and we're here to work with you. So thank you. And so I don't know if there's questions, but I see hands raised. And so I know my time is up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be on side of the stage. And if you have any questions for me, and if there's questions online, make sure that you send those questions in, and we will then answer those questions. We have our customer care table here. We have our business development table and our opportunity marketplace. How exciting is that? To have a deal room, an opportunity marketplace, an exhibit hall, and a gala all in one event, right? So when we talk about innovating forward and supporting you and championing around your success, we are doing that. So thank you. Thank you very much.